welcome back to Shady Ladies.
It's been so long.
We've missed you so much.
I mean, we have been still throwing shade.
The shade never stops.
But now the glory of our days has come back to us again in All-Stars format. All-Stars Season 2 of Drag Race is officially starting August 25th.
Yes, a new time, a new day. Thursday at 8, I believe?
Yes, and so many new things.
We have so much to talk about in our little preview All-Stars segment we're going to be doing. It's going to be 3 parts, and we're going to be talking about what to expect coming up from All-Stars Season 2, all the different queens, and we will be throwing shade left and right as you know us and love us. You know your hosts as much as you love them. I am Margot Poupard, joined by Samir Roy.
Oh, hi.
And we're here to talk all things RuPaul's Drag Race, and it is a genuine gift, especially in 2016, to have a second season of RuPaul's Drag Race.
I know, it's like they've had this in the can for a while. They've just been sitting on this information for so long.
I mean, if you listened to us last season, or I guess just a couple months ago, talking about Season 8, we were doing our stealthy sleuthing, as you know us to do so well, and pieced together different factoids from various well-known social media queens, Twitters, and Instagrams, and Facebooks, and we figured out who, more or less, was going to be in All-Stars 2. Because there had been rumblings, and they shot it almost a year ago now?
Yeah,
Because I remember hearing all of these rumors. I remember, it was about a year ago last summer, probably.
When Willem dropped that bomb on Twitter, and he was like, oh, I see everyone got 5 minutes to use social media today. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I think most of those people...
I think it was almost everybody.
There's a couple that weren't, but maybe they were alternates that had to be prepared to step in for someone or something like that. You know what I mean? Just like the Olympics. Aw. We'll get to that on another podcast, but
this is sort of the Olympics of
Olympics
drag
of drag. They
point.
call it that. This is the Olympics of drag. So it's like that should be the name of the other one, the Olympics of drag. But that's specific to this show. But nonetheless, that is what this show is. So it's like having all these people. It's been a while. There's a lot of people since they did the first All Stars that were like, you know what? You've got a lot more contestants who maybe went too soon.
Yeah, and I feel like the cast reflects that for sure.
Like Season 5 is like half the cast.
I know. As I was going through the list, I'm like, Season 5, Season 5, Season 5, 2, Season 5, Season 5. So if you didn't know who's already expected to make their debut on All Stars, we've got Adore from Season 6. We've got Alaska from Season 5. Alyssa Edwards.
Season 5.
Her rival, Coco Montrese.
Season 5.
Detox.
Season 5.
Ginger Minj.
Oh, well, that was just 2 seasons ago. Season 7.
Yes, and then Katya, our queen.
Oh, I love you, Katya.
I cannot wait to see her every week. She is the best.
That's going to be fun.
Fifi O'Hara.
Oh, yes.
Roxy Andrews.
The two evil queens.
And the OG, Tatiana.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you. That was an interesting tagline to have as a drag queen, I guess, but that was her thing.
Yeah. Well, her Britney lives forever.
That was still the best Britney. Even though there was a Britney impersonator on the most recent season of Drag Race, that Britney performance, I think, was the best actual performance.
I would wholeheartedly agree.
And Lisa Rinna said so, too. She's like, I used to live down the street from her. So,
Lisa Rinna in her exact same haircut from... the last 15 years.
What was this? What was from Melrose Place?
Yes.
Yes. She was on some other soap opera too. I can't remember which one.
Well, there was a rumor that she has a line of wigs that are all that same haircut.
That would save her a lot of time. But I mean, is she going to be all that British aristocracy who had nothing left because they've been wearing wigs for so long?
Who knows? I would not give her the dignity of
But nonetheless, she knew from experience of being a neighbor of Britney Spears what she was like, and she was hypnotized by that performance. So it's legit, but I felt like Derek Barry's, which is I look like Britney. I don't have to do much else because I already look like her, and just do some Britney-isms and I'm good.
Pretty much.
It wasn't the same level of performance, I don't think, where he wasn't really playing the character. At least I didn't feel like he was playing the character so much. So it's going to be interesting to see Tatiana back, because she was I don't know. She was always throwing mad shade, and her one-on-one's epic.
Oh,
so,
my
like,
goodness.
Has she mellowed any in the years since?
I don't know. That will obviously remain to be seen. But I think the most interesting twist to All Stars.
Oh my gosh, the twists.
The double twists. More twists than a Twizzler? I don't know.
I don't know. Like one of those delicious, like, sweet barbecue twisty Cheetos. Or a screwdriver.
Oh, okay.
That's a simpler analogy.
That's good. Well, either way, it's twist on top of twist to make it seem a little bit like Survivor.
Yeah, kind of. I guess because now they're voting like Ginger
so now
mentions it.
Now they're opening it up. It's a dragocracy.
I guess that's what it is.
I think
the judges just wanted to do less work.
I don't know.
Because
is it going to be the same? Just quick aside, is it going to be the same judges? Is it going to be Michelle and what's his face?
Carson Kressley.
It was like Ross
and Ross
Carson.
Matthews.
Yeah.
I would imagine so. I haven't heard any. I don't know. We should probably check that again. But I didn't hear any announcement that there would be a different judging panel. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously you would imagine Michelle's always going to be there. So
I mean, in my mind, I kind of just pictured it being Rue and Michelle for some reason. With like a guest judge every week.
They had another regular judge for the first All Stars, I believe. I think Santino was still there. So, but they had an interesting round of guest stars. Like Cherry O'Terry was a guest, you know, like on a comedy challenge. But she was like, she was a very good critic of the work. Mm-hmm. Like she just got right to the point in a very like succinct but still like smart and not insulting way, but probably felt insulting to hear that about your work if you were trying to be funny. But you can't really argue with someone like her, so she was a really good judge to have on there. I think Rachel Dratch was also a guest judge.
Just all sorts of
there was
SNL
two different
alum.
SNL, like my favorite two SNL alums of recent years, you know.
Well, I think we can all agree that we need more Rachel Dratch and Cherry O'Terry.
I would love it if they came back, but I don't see them doing that now.
But I was just curious, because in the trailer,
I
mean. there wasn't a lot of shots of the judges panel.
That's true. It was all, because they had so much other surprises, and they've been sending things out piecemeal the whole time. Like, first we got the list of people, then we got their videos, you know, where everyone, you know, the same little, like, intro video that everybody gets.
For regular seasons.
Yeah, like one of the interesting things in that was like when Fifi was like, it's interesting that like when I competed on the show, Sharon Needles was like the edgy, like creative one, and I was like the more conservative one, like in terms of drag style. And now it's like completely flipped, where Sharon seems more like classic drag and I'm like the weird creative one, because Fifi has become like a cosplay queen with like amazing looks. So it has become totally different and like
if you don't follow Fifi on Instagram, you're missing out. She's doing 365 days of drag, and each one of her looks she doesn't look like the same queen from her season at all. She's just branched out so much and has done a lot. She's done a lot of different things with her look, but it still remained the same queen that you
remember her being. Like, her personality hasn't really changed.
But I guess she's just grown.
Yeah. And found a style. But it's interesting, like, she mentioned that. But yeah, so like I like that she's one of the All-Stars that's come back, because now we get to see this totally different side of her on the show. Yeah,
and then I wonder how that's going to play against, like, Katya and Ginger, who were just on almost, you know?
Yeah, like, it was pretty recently. But then, like, the major twist is that the judges are not going to do the actual eliminating.
No, they're going to be voting each other off, and the top two are going to have to lip-sync for their life.
Well, I don't know if they're lip-syncing for their life, but maybe they're just lip-syncing for their legacy. So, like, do you win this episode lip-syncing to stay in the episode? It's like, no, you have to perform for me to prove that you were the best this week.
And then she decides who wins that week, and then they decide who gets kicked off that week. Okay.
But yes, like you said, like it's like Ginger was saying, it's like, you know, we have to vote each other off the island.
I know. That's why I was like, this is Survivor.
It's Drag Race Vanuatu.
Well, hopefully they won't have to, like, eat dirt or whatever they do on Survivor.
Go forage for berries.
Yeah. All I remember is, like, that chick that, I think she, like, made out with someone or went topless for some peanut butter or something. This was in the early aughts when Survivor first premiered, but she did something that was,
aughts.
The early aughts, where she did something quote unquote scandalous, like, before the internet was a thing. So taking your top off for peanut butter was considered scandalous because this was pre Girls Gone Wild, I'm assuming here, where you just go topless for a shitty hat.
Oh God. That's still one of the most disturbing things our culture ever produced. But
so in the trailer, though, they talk about forming alliances and how they're going to be broken and how that's going to be how no matter how powerful the alliances, it can throw over other queens and vice versa.
Right.
So how do you think this is going to go?
Well,
who do you think is most likely to pair up and like try and take on the other queens? And who do you think is going to be like a lone wolf?
I feel like Tatiana is bound to be a lone wolf.
That
she's
sounds
the only
about
one
right.
from season 2. Unless she's become really close with any of the other queens from these other seasons. I don't know that that's happened. But I would foresee her being sort of a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Unless someone instantly welcomes her in. I don't know who that would be from this cast. But I know that you would probably assume that Katya and Ginger would kind of be close. I see Ginger being more conniving than Katya.
Me too.
So I could see Ginger, like, voting off, like, other strong contenders, or wanting to vote off other strong contenders first, maybe not just going on who they actually think was the worst. So I feel
it's not going to have anything to do with who was the worst, because they're all talented, so at this point, it's just like a popularity contest a little bit.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is there going to be any, like, judicial review of the choice,
sanctions.
To be like, hey, you know what? I don't think you made the right decision. I think that you all voted
incorrectly.
Like, you did not vote on who actually performed the worst. You voted on who you wanted gone, and you all agree that the strongest person. Because it's like, really, isn't that what you would do? All the people who thought that they were in danger because of like this one major threat, they would just get 4 or 5 of them together to always vote. Like, okay, who was the strongest this week? Okay, we'll vote.
But then at a certain point, then it's just going to be the 4 of them, and then what are they going to do? Just like vote individual? Like, then that's going to have to like break down into further factions of whatever group. And then
I'm sure at that point the judges
one of them
come
is going to
back
have to like fall on the sword and be like, "All right, I'll vote myself off this week so that you can move ahead."
But you have to share part of your prize with me. But then, of course, that's actually in the contract. That's like totally illegal.
Yeah,
you cannot,
you probably
like,
cannot
promise
do
them
that.
money to like make
That's
this happen.
called bribery.
So, no, you can't do that. So, I mean, of course, it's going to come to a head. But that's how these kind of alliances always work out. It's like, well, you got to realize that when it gets to this point, once we get here, all bets are off.
So, who from the list of queens did you think wasn't going to end up, or was going to be on the show but wasn't?
Let's see. I was kind of surprised that we still don't have Jiggly Caliente. I don't know, like, what is up with Jiggly Caliente, but, like, I was really hoping that she would come back, and I guess it wasn't even a possibility. I have no idea. I can't really blame anyone but myself because I haven't followed her career as closely as some of the other queens. But she just doesn't seem to be in the news. Like, is she still doing drag? I can't imagine her not doing drag. I see her
every once in a while, like co-hosting or co-headlining a gig with former RuPaul queens. I mean, I don't follow her either, which is also my bad because I do find her very funny and I like her a lot. But yeah, she's still...
I thought she went home too early in her season, and then when they brought someone back, I thought it should have been her that was brought back. She's fierce queen. She's really fishy, but like I didn't think she should have come back. And of course, it was the same curse that happens to everybody who gets brought back. You're
on any reality show ever. Yeah,
immediately,
pretty much,
because you've already had a taste of like life on the outside. So you like come back inside, and you're like, oh god, I just can't do this. And you're like, gone.
Agreed.
The only person who lasted more than one episode was Trixie when she came back. She was really good in that first episode, then she was pretty good in the next episode. Not the best, but she wasn't the worst by any means. And then after that, she went home again. But no, I think she's the only one who ever lasted more than one episode, but she is not back.
That was a disappointment. I really did think she, A, deserved to come back, and B, should have.
I guess those are the main disappointments. Because I kind of felt like a lot of the people I wanted to see were kind of from season 5.
Right? I was like, oh, okay, cool. So Alaska came back and Alyssa Edwards came back. Even though Alyssa Edwards does a ton of stuff for World of Wonder now. Like, she hosts a bunch of
web series,
web content.
It's like
she's a really good host. She's really funny.
She's just like a character, and she's just naturally that way. And like that's who Alyssa is. So it's like they don't have to drag it out of her. Yeah. Well, anyways, moving along. So I was happy to see her and Coco. Like they're trying to. I don't know if they didn't really try to even suggest the continuing Coco Alyssa rivalry in
I thought
the trailer.
They did.
I don't know. Did you think so? Because I mean,
well, we don't see who snatches Alyssa's wig in that trailer. We just see a hand come out and snatch her wig, and Alyssa has this shocked. Well, she has her face.
Yeah.
Oh,
I know. It's like it's weird to try to do facial impressions when you're recording a podcast, but we
enjoyed them.
We try to do the Alyssa Edwards, and it's just like you have to have a mirror right in front of you. We just don't have a mirror in front of us while we record. We're not that vain, Joan.
Oh man. So yes, season 5 queens were who we wanted to see, but that's what I wanted to say. I could have done without Ginger Minj. Controversial opinion, I know. I feel like I saw a lot. I thought I saw all I needed to see of her on her season, to be honest.
Bless.
I did, damn it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I felt it. Oh. But yeah, I mean, I can understand why, but
I understand why. She's a very talented queen, but if you gave me the choice between her and Trixie, I would totally pick Trixie.
Yeah, it would be nice to see Trixie
because Ginger made it to the top 3. It wasn't like she was gone too soon. We saw a lot of Ginger, especially in Untucked too. Like we got to know Ginger, I thought, pretty well, and I thought I understood what her shtick was. And I don't really think that she's changed it much, and I don't really see why. I mean, we could have even had someone from like last season or just someone even from her season. I don't really know, but.
And people are already talking about Kimchi. Will you do the All Stars? Like, yeah, why not? Like,
yeah, she's like, I don't really see what the point is, but yeah, sure, if they ask.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that Ginger Minj was like, okay, whatever. I think she's just also an entertaining reality show personality. That's also probably why. But I find Trixie to be hysterical.
If they let Trixie fully be Trixie though, because we knew from before that they kind of had before she even got there, they were like you don't even try to do.
Please don't do Anne Frank.
Game. You just can't. You can't.
But any queen that's trying to do Anne Frank for Snatch Game is one after our own hearts.
And it was brilliant. That bit of the video that we saw on YouTube was brilliant. So I'm like, even if she was able to come back, I have a feeling they would probably still expect her
sanitize it a little
to you still can't do these things and these challenges. It's like, well, that's my idea though. And it's a good one. It's funny. You put me on the show because of it.
Exactly.
You can't pretend that, you can't, I don't know. I just felt bad that we never got to see that because it was bold and brilliant and potentially very incendiary, obviously, but I feel like drag should be in a lot of ways. It should still be aiming to, poke. And
I mean, it was smart and it was funny, and I just think it's hard to argue with those two things sometimes, especially if it's well done and it's not a caricature. It's not like she is doing anything to. I feel like she's staying true to the character too in a funny way. So I don't think. I mean, I understand how that can be offensive or at least touchy to some people. But if you have a sense of humor, which is different than being politically correct, then I think that you would have just been like, "That's very funny." Because it's well thought out. She's not doing it. She's not coming out in blackface or something. Come on.
For reals. But anyways, that's our opinion on that. But I was disappointed not to see her here also. I mean, Detox coming back makes sense because Detox was really good. But Detox they were kind of right about her having that been there, done that. I'm over it.
But they had that Detox challenge.
And then they had that challenge. So it just seemed like a confirmation.
Do you think that's a hint that she won All Stars?
Well, that's one of the prizes. The prize is you get to pick one of your looks to be an inspiration.
No, but maybe that's an Easter egg. Maybe they're trying to do some Marvel shit where they're planting Easter eggs in other seasons just to keep us hooked. Which, it's working, Rue, so just relax.
I know. You should add some more characters to the emoji keyboard.
I know! I feel like they didn't update and they just reduced the amount of caricatures and GIFs. Because I thought I had more reaction GIFs.
I know. They need to add some more. Get on that.
All right.
Nonetheless. But, no.
You want to talk about the cast photo real quick, and then we can talk about our little head-to-head matchup for this episode?
Okay. So, let's see.
So, the theme is queens, basically.
Yes.
Literally queens.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of crown and... What are those canes called? Scepters?
Scepters?
Or is that something you drink out of?
No. No, I think it is a scepter.
Okay.
I think something like that.
I don't know.
Staff?
That's Gandalf.
But it's still a staff. It's the royal staff.
Right. Well, either way, they're fighting over crowns and they have batons to beat each other with.
Those to be some dangerous things to give some angry queens.
I know. Well, they're all a very competitive bunch, and so the trailer made no qualms about them having a lot of catfights. I think the copy was even like the claws come out. I'm like, oh well, there you go.
Yep. Pretty much. Okay.
So looking at the photo, let's see. So it goes Fifi and Alyssa, but Alyssa's laying down holding a baton, staff, scepter. But Katya, when I saw Katya in the center, I got really excited. Because I love her pose. She is such the Russian queen mother. Like, I just love her so much.
Roxy looks like she's adapted one of the outfits I saw her wear or make on her season.
Roxy looks like she's auditioning to be on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I mean, her look is still good. Like, she always had a great look. She just occasionally misfired on some of her creations.
I thought I saw that she's a makeup artist now. Or, like, she does more makeup artistry.
That's possibly true.
I thought I read that. I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that.
Kind of like Miss Fame. But
yeah,
Miss Fame is like legit modeling though.
Well, Miss Fame is also like a YouTube makeup person now, as well.
Yeah.
But Kimchi got featured in Elle.
Ooh.
So I'm sure Miss Fame is gagging.
Sorry, there's another looks queen who probably does this even better.
She does.
Although Detox's look in the cast photo is pretty
I love
amazing.
Detox's hair.
Like the hair, the
dress
is actually really great.
But let's talk about like placement, because we do this for America's Next Top Model, which is coming back in October, and so will we were rooting for you, and we'll do a whole other little preview segment like we're doing here for All Stars soon. But yes, so let's dissect like placement, because like they do a good job of shuffling up the queens, but
like Tatiana isn't even in like this main photo that like they sent out. She's like way off to the side, so the crop version, she's like not even in it.
Oh my god, poor Tatiana.
Like it's really sad because I'm like, where is she?
Oh yeah, and is Adore even in it?
See that like here it is. See, like the crop version cuts out Coco, Tatiana, and Adore. Because the way it is, it's like a tableau with Adore and Alyssa both pose at the bottom, like framing, basically not quite bookending it, but bringing in like the framing to sort of have that perfect symmetrical look. But there's a pedestal in the very center of the picture that Detox is putting her foot on. Mm-hmm. But that you imagine is like wherever the champion of All Stars is the one up on that pedestal.
I'm telling you, Detox Challenge plus this placement in the photo, all you're doing is supporting my theory right now.
Well, I'm not going to discount the theory. I'm just like, I'm getting a vibe of her like almost winning and then still losing. But that's what almost happened the last time. Although her look in like the clips that we saw, like the one-on-one, like, you know, the one-on-one interviews, that like bleach blonde, like Dennis the Menace hairdo.
Thank you. I'm like, he looks like a ragdoll or a cartoon or
like, what is up with that with the bleached eyebrows as well? I'm just like, that does not look.
Bleached eyebrows are creepy no matter
good.
Which way you dice it.
I mean, Tyra still enforces it on somebody every year, although she's not going to be in the new top model.
Doesn't mean she can't be sending down orders from wherever she is. Harvard Business School.
Another summer program.
In management style.
Management style. But But yeah, see, so we have the two, we have Adora and Alyssa framing people at the bottom of the image. Mm-hmm. But you have Fifi all the way out on the left.
All by herself.
And then Coco all the way out on the right.
To keep as far away from Alyssa as possible.
Right? So it's like, I have a feeling that they're gone.
I thought they were going to fight first.
Oh, no. Well, I don't know. Coco can fight with anybody. She always finds a reason. But,
Shady.
She does. And, Ginger, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. That's a tough one to call because I wasn't getting, like, super great vibe out of Ginger in her season.
But, on the other hand, really Ginger's new hair looks great.
That's very true.
Out of drag.
Much better than whatever she was doing before.
I don't know.
It back in a ponytail.
It was not cute. It was not cute. No. But now it's like kind of like...
It looks better with the
dirty blonde swoop over. It looks really cute.
It's actually really adorable. So, and see, she can still wear all the same giant-ass wigs as she wants.
All of her closer to... Higher the hair closer to God wigs.
Yes. Tatiana looks like... I don't know what her personality is going to be like now. I mean, she wasn't...
That's what I was thinking, because I can't even get a read on this photo. I'm like, I don't...
Like, what is it that you're... Like, what are you bringing?
It's some Beyonce light catsuit, and I don't know. Like, kind of princessy vibe. Oh! Shaws of Sunset. That's what I'm getting out of that.
You're getting Shaws of Sunset.
That's what I'm getting.
It's like the only thing that they're showing on Bravo right now. Because after
tennis.
After tennis. It's tennis all day and then the Shaws of Sunset during the Olympics. And it's such an odd juxtaposition. I was like, I just noticed that today when I was setting my DVRs.
Oh.
But, yeah, it's like, it doesn't give me, like, hope that she's gonna show us anything different than we saw before. But she was really entertaining before. Because she was not afraid to share her opinions and talk directly to people if she had to. But like, oh my God, I loved it. So I'm like, it has to be like the only reason they brought her back because I can't imagine that it was because of her amazing looks.
Right.
Or that she was a consistent performer.
But she might be one now because she's been gone the longest from the show. So
true.
But I just feel like she's got the most potential to surprise.
Yeah, I noticed that season 3 was sort of not in this season because there's
a bunch of non-existent.
Well, they were in a bunch of them were in the first one, like Alexis, Mateo.
Oh right, but that was also when was All Stars season 1?
All Stars season 1 was right after season 4.
Okay, well then that makes sense that a bunch of season 3 queens, like the next All Stars is not going to feature a bunch of season 5 queens because they're all done now.
They're all done now. So I think they got through with season 3 people in the first All Stars, so they didn't really have any left that they really wanted back, I guess. Nobody wanted back, India Farah, or whatever her name was. She was the one that Mimi M first picked up during that lip sync because India Farah came down off the stage and went right up to the judges. So then Mimi M first went down there too and then picked up India Farah and carried her back onto the stage. And she's like, "Get her off of me!" Oh, it was glorious. I was like, you can hate on Mimi M first all you want for that. I will always. That's the only thing that she did that I will celebrate.
That's hilarious
on that show. Anything else, I was like, no, I can't stand you. But no, that moment was great. And it was, you made entertainment happen, honey. You can be proud of that. But obviously, she already had her chance back, and that was an unfortunate incident at best. Her and Pandora probably don't have fond memories of that experience.
Well, anyway.
But this season, I'm like, is there going to be anything like that where someone's going to be like, they have to do it? Because they're not doing teams like they did that season.
Yeah, no, they're all, but I think the implication of having them vote each other off is that they will form their own unofficial teams.
Yes.
So
when they have to do group challenges, we're working together. It's we're a team.
Right. Well, we'll see.
That's when we'll find out who the teams are officially.
Pretty much. We'll see alliances form pretty quick. So, we're going to do some little head-to-head matchups in our little 3-parter here. And our first matchup is a little wild card. But really, they're the two queens that have kind of changed the most since they've left the show. And it's Fifi O'Hara and Roxy Andrews.
Let's start with Fifi.
Oh, the Fief-star. I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. And I think that she really has stepped up her game considerably, especially in the last year or so when she's gotten better known for her cosplay.
Mm-hmm. Like, she's shown it in the Bots tour, like when she busted out the Rita Repulsa look from Power Rangers.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's great.
Like, that was a pretty, like, I had that was my first inkling of this. I'd never seen that in her before. Like, I never saw that when she was on the show. And even when she was walking, I mean, granted, when we were walking around doing, like, the VIP meet and greet, the ticket that cost, like, an extra $100,
mm-hmm.
I didn't pay anything, but, nonetheless, she came out dressed in, like, this sort of, like, comic book t-shirt kind of, like, nerd girl look.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird. It was, like, it was still a skirt, but it was, like, a ringer tee with some comic book character or something on it. She had, like, big, like, colored horn rimmed glasses.
Oh.
But, like, it was, like, weird because, like, the t-shirt was, like, stained and, like, the skirt was, like, a little wrinkly.
So it was, like, Harley Quinn light or something?
I guess. It's hard. I think I do have a picture with her. But she was, like, she was pretty funny when she was like, oh, it's kind of odd, like, this picture. You have, like, the two miscongenialities from their season and then me. In your photo. And I was like, no, you're cool. It's fine. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I follow her on Instagram, and she has a sizable Funko Pop toy collection. Like
it seems so...
she has a problem. And she says as much about herself all the time. It's just like, I can't stop buying these. Like, I think she was on tour somewhere in Japan, and she got a bunch of rare ones. She's like, I'm so excited. She got like 50 of them. Like, how did you mail that back to yourself? That's not carry-on size.
Right? She must
that is an avalanche of toys.
But that's why I don't buy them at all. Like, I kind of have a hard line rule about those things. I'm like, no, I'm not going to buy any of them. Like, even I see ones that are cool, I'm like, no, because the second I buy one, then I will justify myself buying more because I have the one. I just know that I will. So I'm like, because I can collect crazily when I want to collect. And I'm like, no, it's probably better I just don't do that.
Just stay away
I'm like
altogether.
A collectaholic, not a hoarder. Do not have dead animals in my house.
Notice the distinction. And what's Roxy been up to?
It's a good question. Because I don't see a lot of her.
I haven't seen any of her. But I feel like her look, I mean, at least from the cast photo, her look has changed. Softened. I feel like she does look a little housewifey, though, to me.
It kind of looks the same as it was before. I don't know that there's a lot that's different about her now than she was then. Kind of like the same with, like, how different is Tatiana right now. But,
Well, I guess we just don't know because they're in this shroud of mystery.
But it will be interesting because these two are the ones who responded not so well to the pressures of this, crazy literal race of a show. It's probably filmed in like 2 weeks, like they're probably done in 2 weeks, but it's like no sleep, no time, no nothing. It's like, you think it's bad that they don't get to have books and newspapers. It's like, who the fuck has time to read when you're making these? You don't have time to do shit. Like, you probably don't have time to shit. Like, when you're on this show.
Again, probably not wrong.
So it's, I think that it'll be interesting to see how they react this time. Having been through it already and seen it. And then,
but also having been away for so long, though, how are they going to respond to the pressure second time around? Are they going to buck up? Or are they going to crack worse than the first time?
Well, since there's fewer contestants than a normal season, because it's like, how many total?
What do we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
So there's 10 instead of like 14, so it'll probably be like a few days shorter.
Okay.
Of a production.
Yeah, but I still feel like they cram in just about the same amount of stuff.
They probably will, but I'm trying to think, I'm thinking that for a lot, like, maybe they'll be able to hold together just that long, because Roxy really started to majorly crack in, like, I mean, obviously she had the big breakdown, but that wasn't like where her personality didn't like turn to like evil right after that. It was like she had a moment and it was actually good for her in a way. And it was right at the end, like when, like, kind of when you reach your like precipice for lack of sleep, and like at that point, and like just the mental pressure, that's when she started to crack, and she just kind of like lost it by like the last like 2 episodes and was like just deliberately cruel. And I'm like, okay, that's gonna be, I'm like, maybe she'll last without becoming that way because her threshold is further. But since she's been away, it's kind of like loss of conditioning.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, I was a tennis player, but I can't just go back out on the court after
she's out of shape.
Not played for 3 years.
Yeah.
To get back into a tournament. It's like, no, I'm still doing it, but
not to that degree. Yeah, exactly.
Level that you're expected of it. It's like, plus you're older now. Anybody, I'm not saying that she's an old person.
No,
it's
just
not saying
like
that, but you've been doing this for years since then. So it's like, just doing
anything. It's like if we went back to college now and then trying to like drink and stay up all night the way that you used to,
you can't do it.
You would hurt yourself.
Well, most people can't do it.
Well,
but yes, I see exactly what that's a good way to describe it. So it's curious to see how long it'll take before if she still has that tendency. And of course, Fifi I think she's at a different point in her life then too.
Yeah, because she just got engaged.
So it might be a totally different personality when she comes here. Even when she's under pressure, there's a more stability waiting for her outside the competition. I think maybe, it's like she's more sure of where she stands in life going into it than she probably did before. So she may be more
producers
mellow.
love a storyline of like, I'm not just doing it for me. I'm doing it for mom, fiance, goldfish, dead sibling, And so producers love that shit. So I'm sure they'll milk that angle if they can.
I'm pretty sure they will too. So I don't know. I feel like if it came down between the two of them, I can see Fifi going further than Roxy because Fifi has become much more creative since Drag Race. So she's actually, like I said, grown, but I don't know how much Roxy has grown. I mean, she's obviously was very strong when she went in, and that was pretty much like what she had to offer is what we saw. And it's kind of still what she's doing. Like, it's not like a bad thing, but it's not like we're going to see anything new, I don't think, from her. I'd be very surprised if we did. And it would be really cool if we did. I mean, she's probably got new outfits, probably got some new glam looks.
Oh, it's always fun to see what they've got in their closet.
So you want her to stay around for a while just to see what else she has in her closet. But like I said, she did have some pretty bad misfires. The weird spangly, like Chewbacca-esque outfit, that was not good. All the fringe. It was like brown fringe.
The fringe.
And I'm like, the fringe itself wasn't the problem. It was the color of the fringe. It's the color of like animal fur. Like,
yeah, but I'd be hard pressed to find a situation where that that fringe placement would
work.
Be good.
And you need like way more of it.
Oh my god!
Like
yeah,
3 times as much as was there should have been on it. And then it would have looked amazing. I don't know. It just that image just still haunts me when I think of Drag Race.
I was gonna say that bodysuit is what you see before you die.
Ugh, it was bad. It was really bad. But then she had some really amazing looks too. So, and the wig reveal. But she did love a tearaway. So it's like she's kind of got like the same old things happening. I don't know that we're gonna get anything new. But like I said, big surprise if she does. I see Fifi making it further.
I definitely would agree with that. But I think it's also just because Fifi has kind of won me over the past year or so and taken her drag to like a different place that's always fun and entertaining. And she's not just a looks queen, which is what they kind of get accused of once they do sort of okay on Instagram. But I'd be curious to see what she has in her closet as well to wear.
Yeah.
So it'll be nothing short of entertaining, especially with this new voting off format and lip syncing for your legacy.
Oh my goodness. And like because imagine her new aesthetic through whatever the lens of whatever challenge they have to meet.
Yeah.
Because they probably...
I feel like she's going to be what we hope that Dax exclamation point would have been.
I know, that was a disappointment.
Sense. Yeah, like, I'm a cosplay queen, like, yeah. Well, and then we saw one cosplay look, and then the ugliest effing skirt you've ever seen in your life. I mean, green and that, oh my god. You know what? I can't go there, because I'm just going to get upset.
She's not on this season, so we don't need to talk about
I know, I was just trying to put we wanted so much out of Dax exclamation point in terms of like cosplay queen, but we'll get that out of Fifi, and I think that she'll actually deliver since she's already proven that she can.
And yeah, even in the outfit she wore in her video, I mean, it looked like she had like blisters growing all over her face.
Yeah.
That weird alien-esque like snowy blizzard.
Yeah, somebody went to FX makeup school and
like it was
recently.
very well executed.
Yeah.
Like really precise. I was like, oh, okay, it's like creepy and cool, and I hope you have more stuff like this, which we know you do because we've seen so much of it. But it'll be fun to see what she brings because they tell them like, okay, you'll need to bring something for this theme,
right?
For this theme and for
which
this
is
theme.
how we ended up with 3 fucking kimonos last season.
Oh my god, I was so pissed. I'm still pissed. Kimono Gate. Better not happen. I don't think it will happen.
I don't think so. I think that the queens are too different for it to happen like that.
Alyssa's wardrobe will be fun to see, but we can talk about that.
But we'll talk about Alyssa probably next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, come back again next week where we talk about Alyssa and Coco's rivalry, among other season 5 tidbits.
Oh yes.
And we'll also be running down probably. Do you want to do all season 5 next week? Just go Alaska Detox, Alyssa, and Coco.
Yeah, we'll just like power bottom through season 5.
And then we'll do our favorite thing, which is judge and throw shade.
Yeah, sounds like a perfect plan.
Because August 25th... It's a completely
brilliant plan.
August 25th is not too far away, but it's just far enough away for us to get you guys all riled up.
Yes.
So please subscribe, like us on YouTube, like us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter, go to the Gambit Mag website, read our reviews, become obsessed with us, but not like in like creepy way, but like the fun kind of way where you just kind of want to be friends, but we'll only be internet friends.
That's not how everybody is friends these days.
Right?
Some people, I guess.
Well, you can find us on YouTube at Gambit Digital. You can find us on Twitter at Gambit Digital. You can find me at Marg She Wrote. You can find Samir at...
Samir Miraculous. You get it.
And if you don't, he'll be saying it exactly like that for the rest of the season.
I always do. I can't tell from the outside if it makes sense to anyone. But people somehow still find me. Usually usually to say nice things, actually.
Usually.
That's mostly, not usually to argue, but...
Except for that one time.
Well, that was fun, though. I had a good time. I enjoyed it.
Blow my phone up at work.
Yes.
Getting into arguments with people on Twitter.
Good times, good times.
But
and we'll have more good times.
But till then, tweet us what you think about the season, what you think about the format, who you think is going to win, who you think will form alliances, and
who's going to be voted off first.
That's always embarrassing. Who's going to pack up all of their like 10 suitcases, drag them all to LA, only to be eliminated immediately.
The unfortunate thing is that really they only have to unpack all the tiny little things.
Hopefully.
Because the clothes can probably, like, they'll just hang them up and then put them back. But it's like all the bits of makeup and brushes and
all the jewelry,
all those things. That's the bitch that's going to suck to have to pack up again. Because you're going to unpack everything and get everything all set up in place. And it's like, I just spent like half my day making this perfect and pretty. Now I have to pack it the fuck up. Well, yeah. That's the worst part. The indignity of it.
The indignity of it all.
But yes, we'll talk about that in the coming mini-sodes, or this is probably just a real episode at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's a mini just because we didn't talk about an episode.
Oh, there we go. Okay, got it.
All right. So until next time, bye.